It's time to meet the star of the most recent Joker film, of the amazing Shrunken Heads. But today we're going to talk to him in his role as Ox from the amazing, one of my favourite, Saved by the Bell. It's Troy Fromin.
Hello.
And here he is.
Hi.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us. I'm so excited to speak to you about, well, all of those things that I just said in the intro. It's a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here, really.
Oh, thanks, man. It's like, as we were saying before we go live, we've got a lot in common, a lot of comedy heroes in common. It was nice to hear you mention a few British comedians that you and groups that you enjoy.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Monty Python and Benny Hill and the Goodies, and I just watched all that stuff as a kid, and I started speaking with an English accent when I was 14. And my parents sat me down and said, "Why are the hell you doing this?" And they talked me out of doing it. It was a phase I was going through.
That's so funny because there's so many people in Britain who start with the upspeak and try and talk like they live in America.
I was going, "Hello, Mummy. Hello, Daddy. How are you today?" after a week, they just sat me down.
Well,
so
I
what's
guess
up with this?
ties in with your... Sat you down.
Huh?
What's up with the accent, man?
Yeah.
Like, what's up with your accent, man?
Yeah, they shamed me and I stopped.
So when you... Yeah, well, I think I like your accent. I American accent's always cooler. Definitely cooler for sure. And I guess it ties in a little bit the British comedy and things like that with your physical comedy. The first time I saw you was as not as Ox but as Scud in the Johnny Dakota episode of Saved by the Bell, which is like a real classic, isn't it? That one.
Yes, the title of that is No Hope with Dope.
With Dope, yeah. And it was a real strange one because you had Brendan Tartikoff, who went on to, well, it was the head of NBC, but also went on to have other massive roles in Hollywood. Is no longer with us. That must have been a really strange experience, that first one, because it's a video inside it's like a PSA inside a sitcom with real people and made up people in it.
I was there after we shot the episode, and they got Brandon and everybody together. I was standing right there when they did that PSA.
And you had a lot to do in that episode, because not only did you get Screech was frisking you, and you were accused of being a pothead,
right?
And you got a girlfriend, all in the same episode.
Right. And I did some ad libs, like when I walked into the bathroom. It wasn't written in the script for me to take that paper towel and throw it at Zack's head, but I did it, and they kept it.
That works so well. I was wondering about that. I was going to say, like, you bounced it right off his head. Perfect. You couldn't have done that any better.
Yeah. There's a few things I did. They let it, like one thing that I started is when I tapped the black girl Lisa, and I said, and she turned around and I said, "Bye." So they wrote me saying "bye" into a few more episodes. So it's like my little catchphrase.
It's strange like how the program changed a lot from when you were first in it to later on, because you were in it more as Ox than you were as Scud, if I'm right in saying.
Well,
so like Ox was in it a lot more than Scud.
Well, here's the deal, and I've said this a million times on every interview, but it's no big deal. I ran in to read for Scud. I got the part. I did the part, and then like a few days later, my manager called me, and they said they want to try you. They loved you as Scud, but they don't want that kind of character in every episode. So they want to try you out as this character named Ox. So I went down there, and they told me the directing caster was there, and the producers and all the main people were just sitting on this one bench waiting for me. And I did a couple lines as Ox, and they go, "That's it, you're in." It was just like a preliminary thing to make sure I could deliver the lines. So it was really easy. And ever since I was Ox, I did eight 8 episodes of Zox, or 7, and 1 is Scud.
Was there a major age gap or age difference between yourself, the other people? Were there little groups of different ages? 'Cause I know Dustin Diamond was a lot younger than some of the other cast.
Dustin Diamond. Most of those kids needed parental supervision and a school teacher there, because they had to do schooling while they were on the set. I was the only one. I was 23, and they were like, school age. So they had I was like 5 years over them or whatever.
Did it feel strange then? Did it feel like an actual school at times?
No, I felt like I was when I was doing the show, I didn't realize the impact or how powerful and popular the show was going to be. I just thinking, oh, well, it's just a stupid kid's show, and they keep calling me, and it's flowing great, and I love what I'm doing. And I did on Fridays, I would do live episodes in front of the audience. It was great. I only messed up my line one time in all those episodes.
Did that add extra pressure doing something live, or was that something that over time you got more used to?
I got used to. I mean, when I started acting and I got my SAG card, my first union job was a show called Doctor with Matt Frewer, who was the original Max Headroom.
Yes.
If you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So
good.
Yeah, if you go to my YouTube channel and go to Doctor, you can see that.
Right. Will do. I'll put a link to that, because Matt Frewer was great. So creative.
Yeah, he was great in that Stephen King's The Stand.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
Yeah, wasn't he in I could be wrong, but wasn't he in Flight of the Navigator too?
He could have been. I don't know. There was one take when I go to hit him. I'm a hockey player, and I communicate by growling. And I actually contacted his glasses and knocked them off. And then they used it as a blooper later on in NBC's or whatever bloopers.
Right. Oh, wow. Yeah, those blooper shows used to be they're not as good now because it feels a little bit staged, but the old ones that they used to do where you'd see bloopers and things, were always really, really good from the sitcoms and that they show. I used to really enjoy those, especially the ones from America.
Yeah. And the guy that played my brother in Doctor, his name's John Lacey. We ended up working together on Joker too. He was one of the guards, and I was one of the prisoners. And when he saw me in the makeup trailer, he's like a well-trained actor, and he's directed movies, and he's gone on to dramatic and Shakespeare kind of stuff. And I've always been the oddball, being stupid on Facebook and with my stupid videos and stuff. He's never taken me as a serious actor. And when he saw me in the makeup trailer, when he walked in, I'm all, "Hey, John, what's up?" And he looked at me like, "How the F did you get this?"
Well, I mean, we can jump into that a little bit as well, because it's such an interesting film. I'm probably in the minority, I think, where I prefer it to the first one, but I also think it's a really bold swing, because if you really enjoyed the first one and you love the first one, you're probably not going to like the second one. Whereas I didn't care for the first one that much, but absolutely loved the second one. Did you ever get the temperature of what people have said about the movie to you when you've spoken to them? What was the kind of your response when you first saw it? What was your take on the film itself?
Well, you can see me about 6 and 7. I'm a featured prisoner. I was in 6 or 7 scenes where you could see me, and in one part you could see me saying Arthur. But I had some other stuff that I fitted in. I thought I was going to get in there that wasn't in there, but that's cool. But to me personally, it had 3 too many song and dance numbers. Even
That's
though
a challenge, isn't it? Yeah.
I just, I like the first one a lot. I was a little disappointed in the second one personally,
Yeah. I
but
think you're in the
I'm glad I
majority.
was
I
in
think
it.
most people. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think what history might remember it a bit differently. People these days are very quick to, oh, this is a flop. This is a this. This is that. But like, I think history will maybe remember it a lot better than at the time because I think people just
Well, I'll tell
wanted
you
more
one
of the
thing.
same.
Yeah. I wish that I got the residuals that the first one got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of time, it might become one of those ones that's like a bit of a cult
Well,
classic.
well, according to the studio numbers, they were disappointed. It was a studio flop. The second one, the first one made $1 billion worldwide, and I got some okay residual checks, but nothing like like my mind was like ding 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 ding. You know, but I'm in there, and I did a lot of the director. He's the same guy that did the Hangover movies, Todd.
Yeah, Todd Phillips, that's right.
I just started. Here's a little thing. When I first went in to go for the wardrobe rehearsal on camera, I went in as character, and they suggested that what we should do is look at these videos that they sent us of real life psychiatric patients in the 80s where they used to drug them and keep them like a zombie like level, but they had their weird twerks or whatever ticks. So I adapted what I watched with them and what they told me, and I had this like stupid retarded. I made a retarded kind of character, like just a dumbass, a simpleton. So I just started improving left and right. It's what I do to try to get on camera and do stupid things, and he let me do it. Some stuff made it, and some stuff didn't make it.
Wow,
You
that's
know
a
what
lot
I
of
mean?
confidence. Because I mean, so
And
I guess you have to have a lot of confidence to do that on such a big project as well. Is that something that you just do naturally?
yeah, I always go. I always try to do something different to keep me. Well, let me just go back. So when we were doing the wardrobe rehearsal, they had this like violin music playing, and they had a full crew just to do this wardrobe thing. They took 3 prisoners at a time, and they lined us up, and I just started doing weird stuff. I like tapped the guy onto the left on his shoulder, and he looked to the left, and I like, how you do that, and you're like, oh, I don't know who tapped you, looking all innocent. So Todd pointed at me, he goes, what's your deal with this guy? I said, I don't know, just playing around, So I was totally in character as a retard. And then when they said, okay, you guys can go, I said, okay, bye guys. And I broke my character. And he knew right then and there that I was in character and I tricked them. And he admitted to me later on set that he almost fired me because he thought I was mentally incompetent.
Right.
So I tricked Todd. I tricked him.
I mean, that feels like the right sort of environment for that to happen because it was definitely not what I think a lot of people expected with the film. It was quite off the wall in a lot of places, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the second AD, he would go, when we set up scenes, he goes, okay, you guys do this, you guys do this, and Troy, you just be you.
Just be you. Yeah, just do your
and that's
stuff.
the biggest compliment of all.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that really is. Is it one of those things as well with Phil? Because with the Joker, that you've kind of, that's a really massive departure from other things, but people might remember other projects, like, for example, I love Shrunken Heads. Like, that's quite a tonal leap if people know you from Saved by the Bell, but like that was in the 90s as well, wasn't it? And it's a real cult. A lot of people have a lot of love for Shrunken Heads.
Yeah, I love Shrunken Heads. It's one of my favorites. When I auditioned for it, it was original title. Do you know the original title?
No, I don't.
It was called The Call of Mr. Sumatra.
Right. Okay.
So,
Did Charles Band change it to Shrunken Heads? Because that feels like something he would have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he did.
Yeah. He's got that's his genius, isn't it? He either comes up with a poster or the name first and then works backwards. Like he's he's just got that skill.
I've always been a big fan of Empire films, even though some of them are really crappy, like The Dungeon Master. But one of my favorite movies ever is Laser Blast.
Laser Blast, yeah, man, that's a good.
Yeah,
one.
things like that. This is movies I grew up on, and The Reanimator is one of my favorites.
Yeah. Reanimator for me is a 10 out of 10 film, and people don't often realize that how much of it like that's Richard Band doing the score, that's Charles Band putting the money in. You know, and another one I would throw in there. One of my favorites is TerrorVision.
Exactly. That's one of my favorites too.
And I was lucky enough to interview Ted Nicolau about it, and he's you know, such an underrated director, because that film for me is a riot. It's so funny and so well made, and it looks brilliant, and actually it stands up today really well.
I totally agree. It's one of my favorites. TerrorVision and Laser Blast are two of my favorites.
That's my
plus Shrunken Heads is great. And Shrunken Heads, we shot on. I was actually on a SAG union contract, and we shot in Paramount Studios in the back lot.
Right.
It had Meg Foster. You know, I thought it was a great fun film. And then you know, currently right now, I have a claim with SAG because I've never gotten any residuals from that movie. So, I mean, I love Richard Band and all his movies, but I deserve some money from him, and I've been fighting it, and I'm sure to get some kind of money, but nothing like I was supposed to get, because they're hiding it, you know.
Oh yeah, I listened to him, Charles Band's audiobook, and the sort of the financial side of things, and things going out of business and starting up other companies and things like that. It's it must be really difficult for the actors to get their due out of the situation. I think people forget that because there's so much, you know, so many films to watch. They just go, you know, but like people should get paid.
Yeah, well, they might just make a stupid settlement with me for maybe $1,000 or something, that I deserve so much more, but I'll take what I can get, because he's got lawyers hiding stuff and whatever. And I'm sorry to say bad things about him, but you know, I deserve what I deserve, even though I love.
I don't think that's a problem, you know, in the sense of, like, from my point of view, like, it's a free country, and also you need to be like, if somebody doesn't pay me for services rendered, I would feel exactly the same,
even if they're a hero of yours.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Empire Studios and Full Moon, they're heroes in my blood. But you know, hey, I want my compensation. But that's the last I'll talk about that right now.
No, that's fair enough. Like, do you think? I mean, you talk about your age, but when you started, say, on Saved by the Bell, for example, but the people around you, do you think that the industry treated young actors differently in the late 80s and early 90s, like, compared to now? Did you kind of have some sympathy for some of the younger people you were around at the time?
No, I didn't know anything that was bad going on. I thought they were all happy that they had work, and you know, and I hung out with Dustin, you know, Screech in his room, and his dad was there playing video games, and you know, he had to have supervision. So we hung out a little bit, me and him. But everybody always asked me, did I see any of the drama going on, or the drugs, the sex, and this and that? And I never saw nothing like that at all.
I think, I think what happened, I think even he said, didn't he, that a lot of the things that went in his book, which I read, he was just kind of being led to write that, or almost like ghost written, to try and create a little bit of interest and he regretted that. And that's a shame, but I guess sometimes you can be led by other people, like, about what sells, like you were saying, like, oh, people want to know the gossip, don't they, even if there is none.
Right. And from my understanding, he even did a porno or something.
I think so. Yeah. It's a shame. Yeah, because he would have made a great like Shaggy and Scooby Doo. He would have been an incredible Shaggy. I always think.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he would have been. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's a shame.
I
Man.
just have nothing but fond memories about everyone, except uh, Peter Engel.
Oh yeah, he was the show.
He's like,
Yeah,
he comes up to me, hey Troy, we love you. We're gonna take you to Hawaii on the Hawaii movie. I'm all great. So I was waiting to hear from my manager, and she never called about it. I guess they just ran out of money or whatever. They didn't want to afford to send me over there.
did you notice a difference when, like, the later episodes where it was like what I would call like the Tory episodes? There was no Kelly and no Jesse. I think no Jesse.
Yeah, well, I came to the set one day, like maybe the second or third time, and I was told that their contracts were disputed, and they left. And then there was this chicken with a leather jacket that was the Tory, and I was in a lot of episodes with her. So I just went with the flow and did my stuff and ad libbed, improv wherever I could.
Yeah, you were like quite a staple for that series in particular. So yeah, it makes sense why you would, it's a shame you didn't get to hang out in Hawaii, the Hawaiian style and all that kind of things. That, or maybe even turned up in the wedding. That would have been funny.
Well, my major gripe is that they didn't call me back for the college years, what I would have been perfect for. And that,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
there was a lot of shuffling around on that show because they tried new folks out, it didn't work, and then they brought back some of the ones who were in the original.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting one though. So do you think like you had a bit more freedom as well because you weren't part of that like the gang like of it, so you kind of didn't have that pressure, you could just enjoy it a lot more?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was written into the script as Screech's buddy and hanging out with the gang, and it was cool. Like I just suddenly appeared, and I was like part of their group, and then for like eight episodes, scattered about.
That's
And
great.
then yeah, go ahead.
No, you know,
No, you go ahead. I don't know what I was going to say. I've taken some edibles.
Oh man.
You like edibles?
Pass.
You can't stay. Is that legal over there?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think I'm not the guy to ask, honestly. I don't know.
I used to smoke, but I can't because I choke too much. So a couple edibles puts me in the perfect mood for any asshole that comes towards me.
Yeah.
Not you. Not
me. That's fine. Thanks. I take it as a compliment of not being an asshole.
When you work in the restaurant business, almost every customer is.
It's like that's quite a leap. Was that something that was in your family in the past, or something that you decided to move into later in life? What took you to the deli?
Well, it's my dad owns Fromin's Deli, Troy Fromin, Dennis Fromin. So when I was in the age of like 14, I started going in there and working. And when I got my driver's license, I'd go in there, do some work. And when I graduated high school, I started working full time. And that's when I said, you know what? I just don't want to make sandwiches my whole life. So that's when I started getting into acting, and I got myself into these low budget movies, student films, extra work. I just did everything I could because I lived at home. I didn't have to pay rent. So I had the freedom of doing that. And I eventually got my own, I was my own agent at the time, got my own headshots, sent them out and I got my own little speaking parts in these low budget 90s movies.
Wow. So that's really like self-motivating, putting yourself out there, like you say, getting your own headshots and things like that. You were now, you probably know this, but I feel like I want to kind of quiz you on some of your roles because you're coming up to 100 credits. You've got 97 credits at the moment.
I do.
Yeah, which is an incredible achievement for someone who was sending out their own headshots and getting that stuff done.
Yeah, well, So I got I got movies on my own, like Monster High, Street Soldiers, um, Speak of the Devil. And on Speak of the Devil, I met this guy who was one of the punkers with me. If you haven't seen Speak of the Devil, you can catch it on YouTube. It's the only way to
Okay.
see it because it's almost impossible to find. And I
Right.
play this punk rocker. And then in movies like Fortress of America, uh, Class of Nukem High 2 and 3, these are all things I got on my own before I got an agent. So the guy on Speak of the Devil, his name is Max Chain. He introduced me to his manager, and she believed in me. And she hooked me up with an agent. So I had a manager and an agent. And the first thing I got was what I told you before, Doctor for the NBC for the network TV. And then 91, I just kept getting sitcom after sitcom. Perfect Strangers, Life Goes On, the Married with Children. You know, it just goes on and on. I just exploded. But now it's like I'm like doing all these auditions and not getting anything. So I guess they like me more youthful, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know, because the horror elements kind of become bigger and bigger as your career's gone on, hasn't it?
Yeah. Because my favorite horror film in the world was Phantasm. So I used to go. Yeah. So I was going through the Hollywood Reporter because I like to look at the ads and see stuff, and they announced Phantasm 2. So there was an address. So I wrote a full-length letter, how much I was a fan and this and that. I'll work for free. I want to be part of Phantasm 2. And I got a call. So they offered me the job as a craft service at $40 a day. And I was willing to work for free at that time. You know, $40 a day is nothing. So I worked my ass off for like 2.5 months. And then I got the one part as the gravedigger when you see me in Phantasm 2 digging a grave with that mask on, which was great.
So funny because you got 2 credits for that because you've got craft services and background player. So you've got 2 credits in the credits, which is pretty cool.
So Don Coscarelli, he was a friend. He knew Sam Raimi. So Sam Raimi and Robert Tappert is a producer friend. We're supposed to visit the set. Sam Raimi never showed up, but Robert Tappert showed up. And I talked to him. And after talking to him, he offered me the part as a stunt player on Darkman that weekend. So that's where I got the Darkman credit. And you see me coming out of the Lincoln Continental next to Danny, Danny, I can't think of his last name, who passed away. And he was in the Evil Dead 2.
Oh, Danny,
I'm sorry, I can't think of his name.
Is it Hicks, is it?
No? Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm the one that comes out. I'm one of the bad guys that comes out getting searched by whoever's searching us at the docks.
I wonder if you're up for a little game. If I give you some of your films, if you can remember the name of the character.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
You up for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to go through all 97, don't but so let's start with, I think this is a good one. What your name is in the credits is what I'm going for, okay?
Yeah.
So in Return of the Living Dead Part 2, what are you listed as?
Pot smoking army truck driver, uncredited.
That's word for word correct. That is awesome. Yeah. 1 point. Ding, ding, ding.
And I had to fight for that. I had to submit until I got it.
Nice. Oh, well, so that worked.
And that's another story in itself.
Go ahead.
One day I was looking through the Los Angeles Times. It said, wanted zombies and soldiers for Return of the Living Dead Part 2. So I went down there in Simi Valley. I brought calves brains with me that I was willing to munch on just to get a part as a zombie. That's how green I was and new to the whole thing I was and excited I was. So I signed up with her name was Paula Fox, and her husband was one of the main producers. So I started working in Sierra Madre as zombies and soldiers, extra work in the background, and I got my friends in there. And then one day I get a call by Paula. She goes, "Troy, you've been so helpful with me, getting your friends and everything. Do you want to be a featured pot smoking truck driver from the beginning?" Because they had test screenings, and the test screenings, like the audience is going, "How did this happen? We need an explanation." So they wanted to explain how the barrel got into the river or whatever, and that was my fault. So I went there. They gave me another $40, and the rest is history. And the guy that was next to me, he was pissed off that he wasn't me.
And you know, if it wasn't for you, everything would have been fine. You know.
Yeah, that's another. Everything's got a story. Well, go on with your next one.
Okay, next one is in Ain't No Way Back. What were you called?
Hillbilly number 2, maybe.
Just hillbilly, yeah. You were the hillbilly, the quintessential hillbilly, yeah.
Yeah, it was that was like more or less extra work, basically.
That's a good time. I just would love to be in one film and have my credit as hillbilly. That would be so good. That would be a dream for me. Okay, this is just a cool one. Hell on the Battleground from 1988.
Hawkins.
Yeah, which is good for now. Stranger Things, Hawkins. But yeah, that's that was with David A. Pryor.
Yeah, he's passed away too. Yeah.
From Newark, New Jersey. Right. Okay. Who have we got? Oh, Dead End City from 1988.
Street Fighter number 2.
Don't do yourself down. Street Fighter number 1.
Oh, okay, number 1.
We're number 1. All right. This is this is a strange one. Fortress of America. KKK. I think it's supposed to be to do with the KKK.
Bazooka.
Bazooka. Now, Bazooka and Scud go together pretty well. Time Burst, The Final Alliance.
There you go. That's my first Ox credit.
Yeah. Born to be Ox. This one, I'm disappointed in you. I'm very disappointed in you because in Hot Times at Montclair High, what were you calling that one?
The bathroom school bully.
Yeah, you bully. You're a bully.
I originally had another scene, but they never got to shoot it.
Did the bully? I've not seen Hot Times at Montclair High, but did the bully get there? I come into the bathroom. Well, the first thing you see, like during the opening, is I'm walking by. They're doing a student car wash, and I kick one of their water buckets over while I'm walking by. It's like I'm an angry guy. So in the bathroom scene, I come in, I shove this guy away because I got to take a dump real quick. So I go into the bathroom. Meanwhile, there's this perfect janitor. He's got a hole in the wall. He's like trying to look at chicks and stuff. But then he's got this lighter. So because he's in a dark space, and then I cut a fart and blow a flame into his face. I mean,
and then it hurts my ass so much that I run out of the bathroom.
Man, I guess that wasn't a documentary though.
No. Yeah, a lot of these movies have been on USA Up All Night.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna watch Hot Times at Montclair High. That feels like a Trauma style film, actually, but it's not, is it?
It's actually pretty well. It's got a pretty well made. It's a low budget high school, like these kids get involved with some kind of mafia, but it's like a lighthearted Hot Times at Montclair High thing. But it's actually shot at Fast Times High. This was actually shot at Montclair High School, and the principal actually produced it. And I had to go down there, and I had to say, "Hey, these people owe me $300." And so he just wrote me a check for $300 right then and there. A lot of these low budget movies, you got to go and get your money.
Yeah, man, that sounds like it. It sounds like that's part of the challenge. Yeah, getting paid. This might be one of my favorite names of yours at Monster High.
Egbert Hoser / computer zombie or something.
You were close. Egbert Hoser. Yeah, Egbert Hoser. Sounds like a geeky Canadian guy. But yeah, Monster is the other one name.
Monster. Mac Monster.
Oh, Mac Monster. Sorry.
Right?
I missed. Yeah, that's right.
There's a story behind that too.
Go on, I want to hear it because
when I was going through, there's this paper back then. There was no internet, no cell phones, just mail and pay phones and landlines. You know what I mean? The simple times.
Yeah.
So drama log I'd pick up at the newsstand every week, go through it, and submit myself to stuff. So there was this a college student film called Monster High. So I got myself in as the party zombie, and I was also the football zombie. And he said, if he ever got a full feature length, he'd put me in it. So one day I'm going to drama log again, and he's casting the full length feature for Monster High. He got the budget. So he had a phone number. I called him. He goes, "Oh, Troy, we don't have the party zombie anymore. I don't think there's a partner here for you." So I hung up, and I'm looking through it. And then as a part as the nerd. So I called him back and said, "You know what? I could play a nerd. Just bring me in. Let me read." So I went in and read as the nerd, Egbert Hoser, and I got the part. And he said, "Persistence pays." And I love that because I get turned into the zombie, and it's just a ridiculous movie. Have you seen it?
I haven't. I've just added it to my watch list. I'm going to watch that later on. That sounds
it's so freaking ridiculous. You got to see it. I get decapitated, and then my head becomes the monitor, and I'm in the basketball game it's so crazy.
That sounds great. So many fun things, like silly, crazy film, and then like ones that were quite heartfelt as well. Like you're in an episode of the 2 episodes of the Wonder Years. Do you remember what you were called in that?
Slavaski.
That must have been an experience because I bet that was quite an intense. Like it always felt quite. I used to watch it as a kid. It was like bittersweet and quite sad. I don't know what it was like behind the scenes, but like I liked it, but it also was kind of, I don't know, like melancholy.
The first one I was in called Lunch Stories, and I just had to be like a John Belushi, like slurping up and eating and being a pig.
Right.
So I got that, and then they brought me back for another one called the driving education one, called Road Stories or something. So I was against Lasky, the jock in the back, and Kevin. He was Kevin. What's his name?
Oh, Fred Savage.
Thank you, Fred Savage. He was just a young little kid. All he did was joke around and play around. But it was the first time I was in a vehicle on a trailer, and we're going through the streets of Pico, and like right by Fox Studios and stuff, and with the police escort. You know how how they shoot the films like that when you're in a car but not really driving.
Oh yeah, it's kind of on a rig.
I was on a rig. Yeah, it was that was a really cool day.
Oh man, that would be awesome. I've always wanted to do that. You remember Conan O'Brien used to do that?
I didn't know, but the thing was, Wonder Years wanted me back, which paid a lot more than Saved by the Bell. But my manager already booked me for an episode of Saved by the Bell. Wonder Years got pissed off and never called me back again.
That's it, because I was going to say, you've got Wonder Years, Who's the Boss, Saved by the Bell. Like 3 iconic, like most people will have lovely childhood memories of watching those shows all around the world. Like that's pretty crazy. You were Wendell
and Perfect Strangers and Married with Children, which my part got cut out, but whatever.
You were chatting. Do you know the episode of that you mentioned in the Wonder Years? I was doing a bit of research on that one because I was trying to find it, and it is on Disney Plus over here. So I did watch that episode, and it's one of the higher rated in that series. The one, let me just find out which one it was. I got it in my notes. Road Test, like, was one of the highest like rated in terms of viewers. I mean, like, not like they liked, that they gave it a good score. Not, I don't know about viewing ratings, but it always did well, didn't it? But like, it was rated as something like 8.5 out of 10 on IMDb and a few other things that I saw. So that must have been a very like fan favorite episode.
That was great. Great memories, man. Great memories.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think a lot of people, the idea of just being able to see behind the scenes of something and to be in it is like, no one can take that away from you. Like, it's just like a really special part of Hollywood history, because like, it's magic, really. For a lot of people, television is like a magical box, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. To me, I'm a fan. I was a fan, starting at like 12 years old of the, Sinbad, the Golden Voyage movies, anything that was fantasy, horror, science fiction. I was a big fan of, and I was reading like Stephen King's The Stand and whatever. I just couldn't get enough back then. It was limited. There was no internet and all that. I had to look at the TV guide and see when these horror films were going to come on, and I'd watched every single one of them. And as far as being a fan, I decided I want to be in a horror film. I want to get killed. That was my main goal. And then it just expanded from there. I just took off, and I started doing comedy. You see my credits, and I got so many memories, especially, being a main psycho in a low budget movie called Kill Overkill.
So is that the one that you would point people towards if you were to say like something that you're most proud of?
I would say Kill Overkill and Kung Fu Rascals, which you have to see if you haven't.
I haven't seen Kung Fu Rascals. So you play Lao Z in that.
Lao Z. Now this started out. I get
it.
Yeah, it's funny how I get parts from like word of mouth. Like Donald G. Jackson, who passed away, who directed me in Kill Overkill. He was friends with Steve Wang, who did the mask for Hill Comes to Frogtown, which he directed a few years before. So he got me hooked up with Steve Wang, and again, I was living at home, and I was offered another co-starring role. So we excuse me. I've been fighting a cold. So we worked on Kung Fu Rascals. He shot in Super 8 with no audio at all. And we shot for like 8 months on the weekends, mornings, whenever he could. And they did their own special effects. It's an amazing movie that you got to see. And I went into the studio for 2 days and I audio dubbed my whole voice. So it's a wonderful experience. It was just recently brought out as a Blu-ray with special features, that things I haven't seen behind the scenes that they were shooting of me back then when I was 23. And it brought a tear to my eye of these memories that I didn't even know existed on video.
That's awesome. That's really good, because it's available on Tubi as well now. So there'll be lots of people watching that movie and rediscovering it.
And I put my own out on my YouTube channel as well.
Right. Oh, cool. Oh, well,
as well as Kill Overkill.
Because Steve Wang, who you work with there, has done special effects in Predator and like Bill and Ted Face the Music, the Planet of the Apes. Like it's a really cool. It must have been really cool being with somebody that creative.
He also directed the Guyver 1 and Guyver Dark Hero 2, and a movie called Drive, an action movie called Drive. But I was supposed to be in Guyver as one of the gang members, but I got this part in this vampire movie I was co-starring in. I dropped out of that one, which was a SAG film. And then the vampire movie I was working on for like 14 days. It never got finished, and it ended up in the garbage. You can see part of it on my YouTube channel. So that was a great regret because I would have rather have done the Guyver.
But it's one of those, isn't it? Like these little sliding doors moments, like you were saying before about writing to Coscarelli and I love your film, and ending up in the next one. You get this, and then other ones slide out of grip, and it's the kind of it must be quite lots of highs and lows in the career of an actor.
Yeah.
And would you say like this, like as you've gone along now and doing these character parts and like Joker or some of the horror, more sort of intense horror ones that you've done, do you feel that like you've got to kind of show a real range of different skills that you've developed over the years? Like you can't play Ox now, like you're not going to be in well, you could in the you were in the reboot, weren't you? You popped up in the reboot.
Yeah, I was my manager contacted them. I was doing this Bring Back Ox campaign when I heard about the reboot.
Yeah.
So my manager said, "Hey, there's this character called Man in Line number 2 or whatever." And he said that he's going to present them to me because they wanted like Easter eggs, like me, like past characters to pop up.
Yeah.
So it worked out for them. I did a small audition, and so they brought me back. And I'm the only person in Saved by the Bell trivia that played 3 different names: Scud, Ox, and Man in Line number 2.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Like, I think I watched quite a bit of that. It was hard to get over here, but I did see you pop up, and for me, it was like I was like a hardcore fan. Like I used to get up, record an episode, cut out the adverts, file it away, found a guide, write down the series number, put them all away in a box of VHSs, just because I was obsessed with the show. Like I was in my garage today, and since we moved, and I found my tie-in Zack Strikes Back novel, which I didn't even realize I had. It must be pretty cool because like when I was checking back the other day, and now in the UK we can get this, which has got everything on it from Good Morning Miss Bliss to all the TV movies. So when I wanted to rewatch your episodes, which I did knowing we were meeting each other, it was so easy to just pop this in and be like, oh, there's Scud, there's Ox. And honestly, the whole thing, and I'm not just saying this because I'm like, some things just do not make me laugh. Like I go, oh, what did I even see in that? It still makes me laugh. I think it's still funny. And that's basically what things fall and rise on, isn't it? Whether they're good, whether they're funny.
Yeah, I get occasional fan letters, and when I joined Facebook years ago, that's when everybody, hey, it's Ox. I'm all, wait, okay, I'm staying here on Facebook. So I talk to people. I would talk and mingle with the fans and stuff, and people like said, hey, you're cool. A lot of people don't want to give us the time of day.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was going to ask that. Like, is there ever been any kind of like strange fan interactions or some like really touching, like wonderful fan interactions? Not me, obviously.
Well, one day we were at Magic Mountain. This is when I was younger, a few years after Saved by the Bell, and some guy on a ride said, "Hey, Ox, Saved by the Bell." I don't get noticed like that much often. One time I was at a store, and the girls started. The cashier started repeating one of my lines. I'm like, what? So don't you remember you said this and that? I'm like, okay, yeah. So only amazing. A couple times. It's not like I walk out in the street and people go, hey, Ox, hey, Troy Fromin. It's nothing like that at all.
Well, I mean, that's just cool for me. That would be amazing. One person like to know that, but also the idea of that maybe sometimes people know more about you and your career than you do. Like you said this and you did that, and you're like, did I? But you seem to have a good grip on the characters you played and what you did, and like you don't they matter to you.
Exactly.
Because there's some people I've met, and they're like, "Did I do that? I don't, like, oh, I don't know. I don't remember being in that." Or like a perfect example is, do you remember the actress? Oh, she's still Joanne Wally Kilmer.
No.
So she was married to Val Kilmer, and she was in Sex, Lies, and Videotape, the film Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
I've seen it.
And she went to my school. Now, she was 2 years ahead of me in our school. And I saw her on TV, and this guy was like, "So you're from this town?" I'll just let my dog out. 1 second.
That's okay.
You go. Go. I knew that was going to happen. And so they went, "Oh, you're from this town in Manchester." And she looked so angry that they brought it up. She was like ashamed of being from my town. And I was just like, oh man, it's like some people, they don't want to talk about certain films, they don't want to talk about certain places. But I feel like you've really, everything that you've done, you're like, yeah, I was in that. I was this guy.
Yeah, there's nothing I'm really ashamed of, except for maybe something called the Horn Dogs Beach Party. But anyway.
Well, you were young, you needed the money. So like, I often give people, when I'm talking to them nearing the end of the interview, like, it could be somebody we've never heard of. It doesn't matter. I'm not looking for like a big name or anything. But like, is there somebody that you think of that is like a big thank you for like either doing something that changed your career, helped you, or just you enjoyed spending time with? If you think of that one or even two people that just pop into your mind of somebody, who really helped you.
That really helped me. What would be my first manager and agent, and the guy who introduced me to them. But I really, to begin with, I helped myself. But my biggest influences is slapstick comedy, like Monty Python, Rodney Dangerfield, and horror films. So comedy and horror is my biggest influences. As far as like drama, like like The Notebook and Shakespearean stuff, that's not what I'm about at all. People might go, he's not a serious actor, but I just like to play goofy comedy or serious horror or comedy horror.
Comedy is so hard though, isn't it? Because like, I think people who write, I know from writing, the little bits of writing I do, that writing comedy is much harder than making people cry, like it's you can pull on the heartstrings a lot easier than you can, because people sometimes sit there like, make me laugh, and it's hard to kind of connect. You kind of your performances, I always find, are like fearless when it comes to like your humor. You're out there, they're sometimes big and bold, and you're not afraid to take a shot.
Right. Like even auditions, I auditioned for this Disney thing once, and it called for me to be thrown into a garbage can and pop out with garbage on myself. So I actually brought a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I told the casting director, just close your eyes for a second. And when they opened their eyes, I had peanut butter and jelly sandwich all over my head, and they looked like they're in shock. And then they said, thank you. So I went out into the hallway, and I heard them go, Troy, we want you back tomorrow for the producer, but don't bring the food with you. Yes, I always did the oddball crazy shit to stand out like that.
It feels like that worked more often than not. It's better to be memorable than to be forgettable.
Yeah, just like when I brought the cow's brains to the zombie Return Living Dead 2 audition thing. I was crazy back then. I'm a little more older and kick back now.
Well, I think that that's natural, isn't it? Like, I certainly think that most of us are like, there's different ways of being driven, isn't there? And like, that way you're like, you've got that energy when you're young to do crazy stuff and not think about the consequences.
It's like when we did Joker 2 and they made the fake prison yard. It had water and mud, and there was a little pool of muddy water. And I said to director Todd, I said, if you want to get a shot of me just rolling around in that puddle of water, that muddy, I'll do it right now for you. He said, you don't want to do that. I said, I'll do anything for you. And he said, no, we're not going to do that. But he knew I would have done it because I was a stupid, retarded prisoner. In one scene, you see me like acting like an airplane in the background, like I'm flying.
Yeah.
So they let stuff like that go. And then a couple times he said, don't do that. That's too much. Like I came out of my jail cell with the urinal on my head. He didn't like that.
I mean, I guess that's the thing, isn't it? Like, if you got hurt feelings when they said, oh, don't do that, and like you never tried it again, then that's just not you. Like, you would be like, I better to try it, and
my feelings weren't hurt. It's just that I wanted to do it and see what he said.
Yeah.
I was comfortable. I was comfortable where I was not going to get fired at that point.
Right. Yeah. Have you ever had anybody say to you like a break and go like in the scene because you tried something and go, what the hell are you doing? Like, and kind of call you out?
Well, there was one time the school song, we're all in the ties and Stay by the Bell. And we're singing about our school and something serious.
I remember it well.
And I was mouthing the words because I didn't trust my singing. So the director, Don Barnhart, he pointed at me, goes, why aren't you singing? I go, he goes, you're an actor. Just sing and do it. And I said, okay, yes, sir. I was hoping to get away with not singing, but I did.
Yeah. It's funny that you would be shy about that. Yet you'd roll around in mud and put peanut butter and jelly and stuff on you, but you're like, I don't want to sing.
Yeah, because I don't think I've got the greatest singing voice, but I've been practicing and I can get by.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Is there something like that? Another question that I like to ask you: is there something that you could tell us right now about any film, anything that you've been in? Obviously, we know you're coming up to nearly 100 credits, but is there something like a little fact or a little bit of knowledge that you've not told anybody else in an interview or online, something that you think like is a really cool little piece of trivia that nobody else knows that you're willing to share with us? And that's a big question.
I basically said everything that I've always said. Nothing comes to mind. I wish I did have something.
It could be like literally, I trod on somebody's toe backstage at Married with Children. Something that nobody else knows. That's just a crazy one. I know it's a silly one, but it's a tricky question.
Well, I mean, when I was in Shrunken Heads, I don't know what was wrong with me, but I kept saying like to the makeup girl these like nasty jokes. Like, I wasn't on drugs or drinking or nothing. I was just in this high of being an actor, and I just kept saying these nasty jokes. And she got mad and said that she didn't want to work with me anymore. And so they brought someone else to work on my face, and then I learned to shut up.
So, I mean, Shrunken Heads, we come back to that. Like Julius Harris in that, his voice, oh my word. Like, that's an iconic. It's crazy, really. He's remembered for like Live and Let Die and, big films and stuff like that. But like, I always think he's one of those actors that maybe people don't talk about enough because he's really good in Shrunken Heads. I mean, everybody's good. The kids are great too.
Yeah, he's great. You know who originally was in his part?
No.
Screaming Jay Hawkins. I put a spell on you.
No way.
He was the original Mr. Sumatra, but he got fired because he was drunk. He came in drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
So the next day they had Julius Harris. There's some
Wow.
trivia nobody knows.
Yeah, that's really interesting because that would have made it very different because he plays it like a kind of real voodoo. He's got this, voodoo vibe to him that's I guess he does that in Live and Let Die as well, actually. He's like there's all the tarot and everything. If you remember in Live and Let Die, it's all like tarot cards and all that kind of stuff.
I don't remember, but I've seen the movie and I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so maybe maybe they were like, we need somebody who can do voodoo.
Is he still around or did he pass away?
He passed away, yeah.
Oh wow.
In mid 2000s, yeah. So he'd have been quite old when he was in that though, because he was 80 in his 80s in early 2000s. So
it was really cool working with Meg Foster too.
Yeah, of course. If I remember correctly, isn't like she has like a kind of romantic thing, but the guy who she's romantic looks about 15 years younger.
I don't know. She played like this mob boss who was a dyke.
Ah, okay. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with another
character. And the little blonde girl was her like lover or whatever.
Ah, okay, got you.
If you go back and watch
Meg Foster's evil. She's Evil Lynn, isn't she? In He-Man, she's in He-Man.
She's what?
She's Evil Lynn in the canon He-Man film.
Oh, and she's also in the the John Carpenter film. They Live.
Oh, They Live.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, she was a bitch. She shot that guy at the end. I remember that.
Yeah. That's one of those films where like it's got more and more love over the years, and I think because of the visuals, because of that idea of putting the glasses on and seeing people. I guess it does a bit like Shrunken Heads, where like kids attach themselves to that because they were like, "This is really cool." Like, I think then Full Moon Pictures started going, right, we need to do more stuff that's kind of models and dolls and figures and things like that. And they went off in that direction.
And some of those things are total garbage that he did.
Yeah, the later ones, I think now, particularly now, I'm probably being a bit harsh, but certainly some of the ones I see now, like they've leaned into you not doing practical stuff. It's mainly like AI and that kind of stuff. It doesn't look great.
Right.
Yeah, which is a shame. So
there's nothing like the good old days.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about things like Return of the Living Dead and things like that, it must have been great to be around those movies where the effects, you could see them and they were like gooey and messy and like you could get your hands dirty.
Oh yeah, they had this one truck devoted just for zombie masks that were on the walls, and the extras were lined up. And Ken Myers, who made all those masks, he would fit us all in the wardrobe and all that. It was just great. Sierra Madre, great setting.
Well, Troy, this has been an absolute wonderful experience for me to kind of pick your brains. I have a traditional way that I end. I know you've got a lot to do today. I've got one last question, if that's okay, if you've got time.
Of course, please.
Awesome. So I often finish with I always finish with a would you rather question from my Richard Herring's Would You Rather. So,
okay.
I'm going to flick through, and when you say stop, that'll be the question that I use. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, just say stop. Okay? No? Whenever you're ready, just say stop, and I'll choose a question.
Well, how many are there going to be?
Oh, there's like just one. I'll just pick one. So like I'm going to pick one at random. I mean, so.
Well, how many are there? So I don't know if to stop on a good one or a bad one.
Well, that's it. It's just random. There's like 1,000 of them.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Let's do this. Okay. So, would you rather be an exhibit in an alien zoo, have all your needs catered for, live in a cage, and be looked at daily, or live in an alien safari park where you would have freedom to roam, but you would have to avoid super rich aliens who were trying to hunt you and put your head on the wall?
So I don't have to answer that one?
No, you can answer that. That's the question.
Oh, okay.
So
The first one. The first one.
So you're happy to be caged in the zoo and be looked after?
Yeah, rather than avoid being hunted.
Yeah, you don't want to be the deadliest. What is it called? The deadliest prey. Was it called?
Yeah. Joe Rogan has a comedy bit about, hey, giraffe, you want to be in a cage and not be hunted your whole life? And the giraffe, yeah, that sounds good to me.
That's that. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, it's been an absolute delight meeting you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for all of the fun, all of the films.
Wait, you don't have another question?
I can ask you another one. I've got thousands of them. I can go.
Ask me another one. This is kind of fun.
Okay, right. If you could protect one type of person, would you protect a farmer or a pharmacist?
A farmer.
How so?
He's a hardworking person, and a pharmacist, he could protect himself with drugs.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I like you're pretty straightforward with these answers, but I like it. You've got an answer for everything.
Let's do one more, and then I'm gonna plug some stuff.
Yes, I want to ask you, like, where can we get hold of you? What do you want us to watch? So, okay. Let's do one more. Which of your childhood toys would you like to see come to life?
My big wheel.
What's a big wheel? Like a bike?
A big wheel is a big plastic bike that had one big wheel and two small ones. It was all plastic. You sit in it, and you could drive down the street with it. And
so, a sentient talking big wheel. Nice.
Yeah, look it up, and they actually made a live big ass version of a big wheel once for some kind of bit or whatever.
Cool. I'm gonna look into that.
And whoever stole my big wheel on my front lawn, I'd like to kick their fucking ass.
Let's find them. Can we put out some sort of let's put out a call. If anyone's got Troy's big wheel, you bring it back. I know it's been a few years, but
I think I was like 8 years old then. And then one day it was, you trusted, you leave on the front lawn, and the next day it's gone.
Yeah, that sounds like living in Manchester. That sounds like.
So let me, whoever's listening, if you could please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. I've only got like 200-300 subscribers, but whatever. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Join me. Talk to me. Ask me questions. I'm a fan's fan. I'm an actor's fan. I like to deal with the people, joke around. That's why I came onto your thing. I just like to talk and promote myself and help you too.
No, I appreciate your time, and I'll just put that up on the banner at the bottom there at Troy Fromin on YouTube. And I know that you really like the fans reaching out to you and commenting on your stuff. There's lots of clips and videos on there as well, isn't there? There's 186 videos there. Some really good stuff.
And I make my own. I make my own funny videos that I think are funny. Some are less than a minute. Just so you go from 0 to 60 laughing. It's crazy, stupid stuff that I did. And please, if you're in Santa Monica, come see me at Fromin's Deli.
Yeah, if I was to come down to Fromin's Deli with my Zack Strikes Back book, do you think you'd sign it for me?
I would sign anything. I'd sign your ass.
I mean, that too. Yeah, I'll get it tattooed on.
I've never said no to signing anything.
And that's lovely. And
To
Kill
me,
Kill
it's an
Overkill
honor.
is on your
Anybody
channel.
asks me to do anything, it's an honor. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally, and that's really nice of you to say so. It's been a lot of laughs, and I've learned a lot. And if people want to watch Kill Kill Overkill, that is on your channel, isn't it? Otherwise known as Twisted Fate. That's on your channel. You singing a school song is on there that we talked about as well.
The Kung Fu Rascals, right? And if you want to speak of the devil, it's on YouTube. Someone else put it on there. It's the only way you can see it. And Street Soldiers as well.
That's awesome. And like a lot of the shows that we've talked about, there's clips on all kinds of things, the Wonder Years and all the other things, all the wonderful things that you're on. You have been a massive part of the shows that I loved, and for that, Troy, I salute you. Thank you so much, my friend. I really do appreciate your time.
I salute you too. Let me know when this is going to be on. Thank you.
All right, mate. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Like God says, bye.
Bye. That's so funny.